In his 11th Independence Day address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India expressed deep concern over the safety of Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh, especially in the light of the recent political unrest following the ouster of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. PM Modi emphasized that 140 crore Indians are worried about the situation and that India remains committed to the well-being of Bangladesh. He called for the safety of Hindus and minorities to be ensured as the country navigates through these turbulent times.
बांग्लादेश में जो कुछ भी हुआ है उसको लेकर पड़ोसी देश के नाते चिंता होना मैं इसको समझ सकता हूं। मैं आशा करता हूं कि वहां पर हालात जल्द ही सामान्य होंगे। खास करके 140 करोड़ देशवासियों की चिंता कि वहां हिंदू, वहां के अल्पसंख्यक, उस समुदाय की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित हो। भारत हमेशा चाहता है कि हमारे पड़ोसी देश सुख और शांति के मार्ग पर चले। शांति के प्रति हमारा कमिटमेंट है, हमारे संस्कार है। हम आने वाले दिनों में बांग्लादेश की विकास यात्रा में हमेशा हमारा शुभचिंतन ही रहेगा, क्योंकि हम मानव जाति की भलाई सोचने वाले लोग हैं।
However, Bangladesh's interim government has pushed back against statements made by former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from India, calling them unhelpful for bilateral relations. Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tawheed Hussain expressed annoyance over Hasina's remarks about acts of sabotage and violence which were shared on social media by her son, Sajib Wazir Joy. Hussain downplayed reports of attacks on the Hindu community in Bangladesh, describing them as quote-unquote highly exaggerated, and stressed the interim government's commitment to protecting all communities and fostering peace. Now, despite these tensions, Bangladesh's interim government is keen to work closely with India, focusing on people-centric engagement, ending border violence, and finalizing the Teesta water-sharing agreement. Hussain noted that Prime Minister Modi's good wishes to the interim government's chief advisor Muhammad Yunus reflects India's readiness to collaborate on shared aspirations. And now, to take the story forward, we have Ambassador Veena Sikri, ex-High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, now joining us live on the broadcast. Ambassador Veena Sikri, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on News9 Live. How do you read the situation in Bangladesh at the moment? Prime Minister Modi, as part of his Independence Day speech, has talked about the worries of 140 crore Indians on the attacks on the Hindu community in Bangladesh, but the Bangladesh interim government, is not happy with the way it is being portrayed here in India.
Well, I think that our Prime Minister was absolutely right in what he said, and I think it's the right thing for our Prime Minister to have said it. Even in his message, in Prime Minister Modi's message to Professor Muhammad Yunus, head of the interim government in Bangladesh, he had said, I wish you well and we wish you the best in your new responsibilities. Please, we want peace for all the Hindus and other religious minorities in Bangladesh. They should be safe. I think the lives of the Hindu minorities in Bangladesh, the religious minorities in Bangladesh, are as important as the lives of the students and all other citizens of Bangladesh. In fact, the Hindu community and other religious minorities have shown great strength and togetherness, because they demonstrated in Dhaka on Saturday in great numbers, calling for safety for themselves and calling for an end to the attack and the criminals. We know that the Bangladesh communities, the Hindu, Buddhist, Christian Joint Council and the Durga Puja Celebration Council, they have enumerated attacks taking place in more than 50 out of Bangladesh's 64 districts. So it's quite indiscriminate, these attacks, and not linked to whether somebody's an Awami Leaguer or not an Awami Leaguer. And in fact, this morning also, I would say that this is 15th August. This is a day in Bangladesh on which in 1975, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated, a very cruel assassination, where his entire family was assassinated. And many people in Bangladesh, not just political people, but ordinary people, they wanted to go to Dhanmondi 32, which is the home of Sheikh Mujib, the home where he was assassinated. Of course, the home had been burnt down by the mob after 5th of August, after Sheikh Hasina left Bangladesh. Almost the first target was this home. But when the people wanted to go today, they were pushed away. They were pushed back. There was violence. There was, hurt, and people were pushed and got injuries about it. And this was reported in all the Western media that this is an indication that there is no control yet about the situation, the law and order situation, the peace and prosperity of Bangladesh. Our Prime Minister has said very correctly in his message that together with the concern about the lives of Hindus, we want peace and development in Bangladesh. We stand ready to work with the government of Bangladesh. We want to continue the cooperation, but we must have stability. We must have, calmness and peace, and work together in mutual interest and mutual respect for development of both countries, for the benefit of both countries. This is important. So the message is two-sided, and I think that it is a very major factor that our Prime Minister chose to mention this from the ramparts of Red Fort, where he spoke this morning on Independence Day of India.
Right, but Bangladesh's Foreign Affairs Advisor Mohammad Tawheed Hussain, is not quite happy about the way the images were shared on social media by Sheikh Hasina's son, Sajib Wazid Joy, and they're not happy with the comments being made by Sheikh Hasina. And this is also pointing to the fact that Mohammad Yunus, when he first took over, the first call he made was about protecting all minorities in the country. So in that sense, the intentions of the interim government seem genuine.
Yes, I definitely, we've seen the statement by Professor Mohammad Yunus, and we've seen also that he visited Dhakeshwari temple in Dhaka, which is a very important temple, and it is one of the peeths, Shakti peeths, and it is also a temple revered by all the people of Bangladesh. He visited the temple, he met the people, and he assured them that it would soon be all right. But there are 2 points here. First of all, this is the concern, that is Professor Mohammad Yunus in control? So he says that he wants to have, full peace, but the violence persists. Even today, when people wanted to go to Sheikh Mujib's home, there was violence. Against all the Hindu communities, the violence is continuing as of yesterday. So this is one aspect. The second aspect is that even the members of the Hindu community who met Professor Mohammad Yunus in Dhakeshwari temple, they said they want a judicial inquiry. Just as there's a judicial inquiry against the students who have been killed, a judicial inquiry to find out how the students have been killed. And in fact, Sheikh Hasina has been charged in 1 or 2 cases, and they will probably being charged with murder, and I can see that very soon there will be probably a demand for a decision against her life, and a demand for extradition as well. Well, I'm sure our government will tackle that when it comes to it. But in the meanwhile, when we look at the condition of the Hindu community, they have asked that there should also be a judicial inquiry against the violence against them. Because if it's not Mohammad Yunus's people, is it the students? I do not think so at all, because the students are very used to living and working in close harmony with the Hindus. So who is it? Is it the Jamaat-e-Islami? Is it the Islamists? Is it the extremist groups? So I think a lot of answers that are needed. You've seen the visuals that you are showing the absolute destruction and devastation of the places of worship of the Hindu community in Bangladesh, which is very, very hurtful and discouraging for the Hindu community who have made their lives and are living there for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. So I think that this two-way street, both have to look at it. Professor Mohammad Yunus can certainly launch a judicial inquiry for the Hindu community as well as the one for the students and other people who have been harmed and killed. And at the same time, we can certainly work together with the new government to on mutual benefit to progress our common interests further.
And we have Robinder Sachdev, Foreign Affairs expert, now joining us. Robinder, my simple question to you is, what does it mean for India, the comeback of the Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh?
Oh, thank you so much, Krishna. I was looking forward to the next question from Abhishek, your Manish there, that what is the new Bangladesh that the Jamaat wants, right? So that would be one. But secondly, the message of Prime Minister from the ramparts of the Red Fort today, I think is definitely, for Bangladesh, for the concerns, about the concerns for the minorities and especially the Hindus in Bangladesh, the violence that we are seeing against them, the way they are being persecuted. In a larger picture, you see what I interpret when Prime Minister Modi, talked about Bangladesh and overall India. He is signaling that, and to the wider world as well as our neighborhood, that the rise of India is a peaceful rise. We are, on our path to a progress, to a certain economic development, socio-economic development, etc., which is a peaceful rise. As he said that, we are the land of Buddha, and we not, we do not even contemplate, yudh, so to say. There are two elements to it. One, keep aside the global, but since we are talking Bangladesh, you see, in our neighborhoods, the idea, one overriding idea in all our neighboring countries, be it Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, on which their internal anti-India politics plays out, is that India is a regional bully. Okay, and that India is, obviously we're a large nation, much larger many times than any of these in terms of the population, in terms of our economy, in terms of scientific achievements. But the message, I think, from the Prime Minister is that India's rise is something that they should not be afraid of or fearful of. Rather, they should look forward to it. That is because that brings synergies to them. That's one. And secondly, yes, the message to Bangladesh, pointed message actually, regarding the safety and harmony, as the word the Jamaat individual leader uses, is that the concern should be very, very much absolutely addressed between Bangladesh or within Bangladesh, and in a bigger picture, yes, India and Bangladesh will strive towards better relations always.
Right. The situation in Bangladesh is unfolding as we speak. One, you have their foreign affairs advisor saying that it is being exaggerated by Sheikh Hasina and her son with their social media posts, and the situation in Bangladesh for the Hindu minority in Bangladesh is not as bad as being made out to be. But the fact that you have a radical outfit like Jamaat-e-Islami, which was once banned for collaborating with Pakistan, a fundamentalist Islamic outfit, coming back into prominence, doesn't really speak of a situation which is going to get better for the minorities in Bangladesh.
Oh, absolutely not. See, there are two elements to it. One, it does not certainly. Okay, on the other hand, Jamaat could say that, they stand for Islam in social life, deeper influence of Islam or the religion in their social life. Okay, understandable if they want. But the past track record of Jamaat shows that within its umbrella or in its affinity groups are the radicals and the extremists. So that is the, that is the cover that they are providing those. If Jamaat were to be definitely a political party, a social movement, sure, they want to, have Bangladesh living within Islamic, at least let's say moderate Islamic laws, fair enough, God bless them. But the point is that when this umbrella provides, let's say, cover and rationale to the radical elements, the extremists out there, then definitely it is a matter of concern. So therefore, Jamaat overall, the rise of Jamaat, the political rise of Jamaat is certainly a matter of concern for India without doubt.